from his new apartment.
Indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, I'm on the rooftop right now.
Rooftop sick, dude.
Rooftop, dude. It's fucking sick. Dude, you got some papers there. You got a small library.
Gotta make it a little bit more. Is it better?
Yeah, that's
better
good.
Height?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Dude, congrats on the new gig. That's huge.
While I didn't have the best grades in college, my resume is
Stacked.
it's probably the most intriguing resume. I don't have the best grades in college, but any job or position I apply for, I will always have the most interesting resume. That has a 100% effect.
It's like a scroll. It's like a scroll. Just like
there's
layered.
random shit everywhere.
You've worked so many jobs.
I have worked so many jobs.
Like
I've worked as many jobs as people do throughout their whole lives. Obviously not lengthwise.
No,
lengthwise,
individual
not,
jobs.
Individual jobs. I've worked more than a lot of people can say they've done in their entire lives. That's
for
a fact.
That's for sure. How many are you doing right now then?
So the position they just hired me for, coaching, and then the church, and this is living home, and that's it. So 4. Not to mention I'm taking 8 credits of class right now.
You are? I didn't know that. Wait, is this in preparation for grad school or?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's.
What classes?
It's a lot.
Dude, that's so much.
Just retaking anatomy and then doing another semester of chemistry.
Gotcha. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, those are.
I'm busy, Ken.
Dude, you sound so busy. You and me both, dude. You and me both. I'm fucking I'm so exhausted right now. I'm on 3 hours of sleep, and I did 2 moves today. Fucking a lot.
Yeah.
The place is great.
And we do a weekly podcast. That's about an hour. You spend probably 4 or 5 hours editing and shit, and then
it's a lot less editing, but the whole process takes. I've got it down significantly. My active time is down to per week maybe 4 hours for the podcast, between prep and recording, editing, and uploading. And then posting on social media. Yeah, that's pretty close. I'd say 4 hours or so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on what we watched or whatever to prep for it. But it's pretty comparable. Dude, that's nuts. I watched. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I watched Harry Potter 2 nights ago. I want to say the Azkaban one, and it was great. I loved it.
I'm gonna binge Harry Potter this weekend. This Labor Day weekend, I think I'm gonna binge it just so I can just have a frame of reference for how you're feeling and think about when I first watched it. I'm gonna do that this weekend. I'm just gonna binge it.
That's a good call.
When I finally have some time.
Yeah, dude. Whenever that, I don't know when that's gonna happen. You got a lot.
Dude, we'll look back on this, and there's gonna be a day when we're making actual money from the podcast, 2 years from now. We'll look back to this time when we were working 50 hours a week, just trying to make end meets and pay bills and stuff. There's gonna be a day. There's gonna be a day.
Dude, I certainly hope so. That would be so cool. It would be nice. Well, the Rogan thing, that's official as of today. He's on Spotify now.
That's right.
And he moved. I think he might have started. I mean, his move was started, but I think he's in Austin now. So he moved essentially the same day I did.
Is he in Austin now? I know he did his last episode with Duncan Trussell. I was listening to it this morning.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just saw. I know he was saying he was leaving end of August, and I saw him taking or sending a bunch of pictures from Austin of have you seen any pictures of the new studio that they have?
Dude, it looks amazing.
Preposterous. It looks like just a Minneapolis, my city. Did you hear that horn? There's going to be a lot of that. I am close to a fire station, and it's the end of the world. So we're going to see if this building
We'll
is
see how this
standing by
goes.
the end of my lease, or if that sweet renter's insurance is going to come in handy, which I have
Right.
to set up, by the way. But what was I saying though? What was I saying? Oh yeah, Rogan's studio. It looks like it's just like a red tunnel. It looks like a time capsule or like a bunker. It's like a
It does
futuristic
look like a
bunker.
It does.
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you see all the cool statues and relics that he has in there?
Yeah, dude, it's weird because like the other studio is like so nostalgic and there's something like so like familiar about it.
Oh yeah, I remember when he would
Like
go live.
yeah, it's just like you think about it, it's like that's like so familiar and you love it, but like
Yeah.
you also know like okay, like this there's a new chapter to this story, like it has to continue, has to evolve.
Yeah.
So you're okay with it, but it's just a weird feeling. Like when other
Right.
like when other podcasts and stuff, when they like change studios and stuff, it's like
Mhm.
okay, this is like a good thing, but it's also like weird, like I don't know.
It's just bittersweet. It's just there's a gazillion things like that happening in my life right now, and it's good. Change is good, but it is hard.
It's good, but I hate it.
Yeah,
It's necessary, but I hate it.
I've had many a laugh and many a tear the past week or so. It's been just a lot. Like I love my apartment. I love working at the food truck. I like my car. I just bought a monitor. Like I'm gonna make this place my home. I'm so excited.
Ken, you're an adult now.
I'm an adult. Dude, I gotta show you the monitor I got at some point. So I'm setting up it's so the place I'm at is fairly small, but I don't have a lot of stuff, which I'm happy about. And so basically a corner of the room is gonna be my like potential work from home / creative workstation / just like general like entertainment thing. Basically, I got a 32-inch 4K monitor that I'm going to use, that I'm going to hook up to my MacBook and do like music production or visual stuff, like working on the podcast, or like just do Netflix on it, whatever. Because it's big.
Sure.
It's basically the size of a small TV. And then actually I've been planning this quite a while. I've had that tab in my Safari feed for so long. I just went to Guitar Center and I ordered these studio monitors for like music, and then also just for the room, because I don't want to buy a TV. I don't want to buy like all that type of stuff. So it's all about double use. So I'm really excited.
Right.
They're back ordered right now, but hopefully they'll get here soon. But I'm super excited. It's gonna be
man.
Sweet. Did the video work for you by any chance? I know I sent a video of the place and it was not working for most of the people I sent it to.
You sent a video.
I did. It didn't go through. I'll send a shorter version of it.
I remember. Yeah. It didn't work on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna send a shorter one. You don't have to watch it, but I. Yeah.
No. I don't want to see it. I want to see it in person. I don't want to see it over some video. I need to see this in person.
Fair enough. Yeah. So you had to come over. Well, we could do rooftop. Do you want to see the rooftop? I can show. All right. So, without being too descriptive, a couple of people over here. So.
Ken, it's lit.
Yeah. So a couple grills, and then inside here. So basically, I'm between downtown and then uptown's like a ways
right there
south. Well, it's a ways south, but yeah.
So you're not downtown, nice. But you're like just south of downtown.
That's right. I'm just like tucked away without being too specific. It's nice. It's really
that's
nice.
Ideal, pretty much. That's like
it is
pretty much ideal.
As long as the shit doesn't hit the fan, I'm gonna be in a good spot. But even if it does, it seems like it's in a quieter little area.
Like you don't want to be downtown, but you want to be like as close as you can be. You know?
Yeah. And what's nice is that I could not have afforded this place if shit hadn't low-key hit the fan this year, because like apartments have been a lot of apartments have been lowering their prices just to
Mhm.
get people to sign leases. So I definitely took advantage of that. So I'm very excited.
Well, how long's your lease for? A year?
Yep, 12 months.
Hmm.
So until end of August next year. So yeah,
Well, if all goes according to plan for me, let's talk next summer about potential apartment situations.
yeah, let's talk. I thought that you were going to be moving to the East Coast potentially for school. Are you thinking about doing that remotely or going to a different school?
Potentially. Both
Interesting.
potentially.
Oh,
I think is I really don't want to go to grad school with any like debt.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
so I think what I might do is just put off grad school another year, so wait till like 2022,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
then just like spend a whole year like get my own place, but like no other expenses, just like pay off the
Just
last like a
aggressively
few
pay
thousand
down your debt.
dollars. Yeah,
Yeah, man, that's a great idea. I
yeah,
I have compared to people who went to high level, really expensive schools, my college debt is pretty minimal, but it still is going to take me a few years to pay it down if I'm pretty aggressive about it. But I'm
yeah,
hoping to start that in a few months. Did you see that they officially extended the student loan deferment
yeah.
through the end of this year?
I did see that. That's
Yeah,
super nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's clutch.
I think I've definitely like paid off like a pretty significant amount over the past year and a half.
Hmm.
Um, Still ways to go, but I think I'll give myself an extra year. I could probably put another really big dent, if not pay all of it off by then. So
That would be amazing, dude.
yeah.
That would be huge.
So I again probably not maybe not all of it, but like pretty much the point where like it wouldn't even matter how much was left.
Dude,
So
that's amazing.
that's my goal right now. We'll see what actually happens, but yeah,
I hope you can do that. That would be amazing. Being
yeah,
debt free is something that is very important to me, and it's a ways away, but it is a huge goal for me. So
yeah, definitely.
sucks to be in debt, but you know, it is what it is. I'm loving this
Hmm.
view, by the way. It's nice. Um, yeah, as I talk about that. Um, do we want to talk Harry Potter, or I don't have a segment for this week?
You
Um,
don't?
I mean,
You
I
know what? I
could,
think that's our segments. Changes. We're all going through changes.
yeah,
I feel like that the seasons are changing.
yeah.
September 1st, as we're recording this, it's officially. I mean,
Hmm.
not officially, but in my book, when September, that's when fall hits.
I
That's
always
that's
feel
when
that
it's
too.
fall.
It really does feel cooler today, like than it has felt.
Definitely.
You really feel like the season already started to change. It's
School
crazy.
just started, which
Oh, you're right.
directly correlates to my job situation. School
Yeah,
officially started. Um, Seasons are changing literally. Things are about to change in the next couple of months here politically in our country,
yeah.
or maybe not change. Who
Wild.
knows?
Who's to
Um,
say? Yeah,
Job situations are changing for both of us.
yeah.
Even our best friend is moving away to a whole different state.
Oh,
So it's there's so many changes happening right now. That's the title
yeah,
of this episode is changes.
yeah. Changes.
That's the title of this
Yeah,
episode is changes. There's lots going on in our world, in our personal lives too. There's lots of huge personal changes. Let's
change is
just talk.
good.
Let's talk about your thoughts responding to the world right now with like the RNC, or if you want to respond to the Wisconsin stuff or the NBA stuff. Do you have any like thoughts, hot takes, gripes?
Um, truthfully, I've kind of been like MIA in a lot of respects, like, and also just like off the grid. So I don't know all the details of the Jacob Blake thing. I know the basics, and I know obviously like it was cool to see how the NBA and some others were responding, and they boycotted at least one game, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, short answer is it's awful that it just seems like there's a lot of police who aren't as responsible as they need to be, and that really sucks. And that's probably an understatement, but just to keep it a little bit light, it's just rough. And yeah, it's I mean, even in Minnesota, what was crazy, I was like out driving around St. Paul, and I actually, like, the night after I believe that happened, and my dad texted me like, hey, steer clear of downtown Minneapolis, like either protests or riots were happening. And like
Both.
a lot of stuff went down, and literally it just it was weird because a few, like, what was a month or two ago with the George Floyd stuff, it was like it was right here, so it just felt so like it was so visceral. The whole thing was, I think, just way more visceral.
Right where you
and
live
intense.
right now.
Well,
literally where you
it's a
aren't you
couple.
like 5 blocks away?
No.
Am I tripping? Is that more uptown?
Yeah, that's no. I mean, where that happened was like south of Uptown, so I think that's actually a couple miles away from where I'm at. But
Oh, okay.
Uptown
Never
in
mind then.
general has been a spot that's had a little bit more trouble lately. But what was I saying though? Oh, but yeah, it was like with the George Floyd stuff, like that happened here, and then like the whole world responded, which was insane. I mean, good, but
Yeah.
just wild. But it like felt more logical that like there would be so much happening here, and because it was so intense, it made sense that like all around the world people talked about it. And I think part of it too is just people were like really well, I don't want to say this in a bad way or like a condescending way, but I think people were just like in their houses for a long time. They were locked down, like coronavirus and everything else. I think people were just kind of losing their minds a little bit. So I feel like this like super awful thing that happened, it was like the release valve. And then I think that's part of the reason why it spread so quickly. Not to say that people weren't in support, but with the Jacob Blake thing, I don't know all the details, but it kind of surprised me because like all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I guess there's more riots happening. Like it just was like, it didn't even strike me as that scary. It just made me sad. And then I was like, man, like it's a little odd that it's happening here rather than just in Wisconsin. But then I was like, it makes sense. So like it's a larger problem. I don't know. Did you kind of see where I'm going with that? It was just like
Yeah.
it's just so different to compare the two. Like just like the two experiences of it.
I think I definitely checked out this one too. So I saw the headline first and I was like again, all right. But it was like, I think once as George Floyd was like here.
Yeah.
It was like hit way closer to home. It was much more visceral of a reaction.
Yes.
Also, there was like so many like different like varying headlines of what happened. That was like, I don't even know what actually happened.
With the more recent
video,
ones.
but like the video was like blurry a little bit. But there was like another video of a different angle. But then like there are stories coming out like, oh, he was actually like accused of like sexual assault. So it was like there's so much information. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But there's so much information coming from every single side. It's like I don't even know how to like mentally approach the story. So I'm not even engaged at all. I'm just whatever. And you hear about the kid with the gun, 17-year-old kid, whatever,
who drove from Illinois. I
don't even know. I don't want to engage. I don't need. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's how I felt. I'm done. I don't need to engage in this. What's this going to do for me? I'm done. And yeah, it was a lot. And I see the NBA talking about and stuff. It's like I don't even watch the NBA. Not because of that, but I just haven't been watching NBA as of recent.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna engage with that either.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then there was like 1 or 2 nights here where there were riots again. And like when I heard about it, I was like, oh no, like here we go again. Like I don't want to wait in anticipation again for what happened last time. Because last time I lasted for like what 5-6 days in a row.
Something like that. Yeah.
I felt like a little bit short of a week, where it's like
almost a
riots
week.
every night.
But the level of like the first time, the level of it was unbelievable. Like nothing I'd ever seen before. This one was much more understandable. Like I could see this happening again, depending on how the election goes. You know, like I could see this level.
I think either way, we get riots.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be a 5-day thing like the first time, though. I could see it being smaller and then contained a little bit more. But I could still see that happening for sure. That's the kind of wild thing. Like, not that I agree or disagree. It's just it's just a strange time to be like, oh, depending on who wins, who becomes the president, that might determine how many riots there are, how much protesting there is. That's just it's a wild thing to say.
Yeah, man, it's weird. It's all weird.
It's tiring. I mean, yeah, it's hard.
It's tiring. Plus, with everything going on in the world, and then you and I, we've had so many like big personal changes in our lives for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Just lots of good changes for the most part. Maybe a couple bad things here and there, but for the most part, good changes. But even though they're good, they're still exhausting.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? Like, they're good things, we're excited about them. They're like exhausting and mentally draining.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I can't have any input, good or bad, from the world. It's just I gotta be here right now. You know.
Absolutely. Just gotta lock in.
Lock in.
I have been watching Ozark again because I needed. You've never seen that show, have you?
I haven't.
Okay, without really spoiling it, the main thing is just like there's a guy from Chicago who's been laundering money for the cartel, and then he has to go to the Ozarks in Missouri with his family just to do it at a much larger level. And you basically, the thing I love about the show is just you just see, and this will sound weird to say, but it's like you see the trauma happening to the characters. Like it's such a nuanced show, and like Jason Bateman's the main guy. He has to, like, you can just see him suppressing everything and just locking in and just like getting the job done. And it's not a healthy long-term strategy, but for a month, that's what I had to do.
It's what he's got to do. It's what he has to do in the moment.
Yeah, and I'm literally like,
love that.
Now that I moved in, I gotta, there's a few things I gotta do for the apartment. And then next week I'm going to Denver. But yeah, it's just like, but now I'm kind of coming out of the craziness a little bit. But for about a month, I just had to be like, I had to pretend like I was laundering money for the Mexican drug cartel.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what I needed to do to get through this. And it worked.
It worked.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. Life's crazy. I hate it. And I look at I pretty much have my schedule like set pretty much for the next, I would say for the rest of 2020. I mean, there's obviously things here and there that might come up or might change, but
sure.
Like for the most part, I have my schedule set for 2020. And it's just like, I know I'm going to be absolutely like exhausted and just drained. Like I know it's coming.
Absolutely.
But it's like, hey man, it is what it is. We're here.
Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel like in January of 2021? Or do you think it's going to keep on going?
No, it's going to keep going.
Damn.
But it's like, you know what? There's no choice in this matter. It is what
yeah.
You know, like there's no choice here. I understand. Gotta go ahead.
Has it been tough hitting? Because I've seen you still keeping really consistent with the fitness stuff. Like, have you noticed like it helping or harming like your fitness goals and stuff, or are you more just like a maintained situation and just try to like stay afloat?
Yeah,
basically?
Well, with this new work schedule with the new job and everything, it's allowing me time to actually to attain that.
Good.
Which is really nice.
That's great.
Whereas I feel like the other job opportunity that I did receive wouldn't have allowed me to have that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah. So I'm glad that even though I'm working a crazy amount of hours, I still will have the opportunity to work towards my personal goals in lifting, which will be super nice.
That's good.
I also want to make this fall time a time where I also put in more time to the podcast.
Oh, nice.
We've talked about, putting up clips, and I want to make sure I devote a certain amount of time per week towards that.
Sure.
And then, now that you have an apartment, I would love to start recording episodes in person with an actual camera. And trying to figure out how that would work. I'm not sure, exactly. We have to figure it out, obviously,
Yeah, we can talk about it.
It's a few weeks at the minimum to figure it out, but I do want to invest more time into figuring that out and figuring out how I can officially do that without falling behind in other aspects of my life.
Sure,
so
I understand.
I think I have to sit down and think about that for a little bit, but I think I can get it done.
Sure.
Yeah. So
that's good, dude. I'll be honest. I haven't, besides on the food truck, I haven't done as much cooking. I am excited to kind of jump back into it. Truthfully, it's sometimes I've noticed something about myself where it's like I sometimes enjoy a lot of my art hobbies and interests. Some of it's like an independence thing. And if I don't have the latitude and longitude to like do things I want to do, sometimes it just feels limiting, and not the good kind of limitations where you can be creative. It's like the bad kind where it's like, I just don't even feel like I'm in the right mindset to get this done. So like I love my family. I loved living with them for the past year and 4 months. It was fantastic. I was depressed when I had to move back in for a bit, and then it turned out to be an amazing time. It was such a reset. But like at the end of it, I was just burnt out with like not having control of what was in the fridge, and not having just like my own space to cook. And I'm fortunate enough to be like, I can get a place where I can do that now, but it took time. And so I'm excited. I'm hoping I can do it now. But yeah, at the end, it was just like, man, I'm just like a little bit restrained here. Like I gotta, burrow away into like some part of the house where I can like work on something, But
I feel that.
Yeah, dude. Have you ever seen, this is totally a tangent, but did you ever watch the Avatar show, The Last Airbender, that was on Nickelodeon? No. Dude, I had never watched it, but a couple of my siblings did. And Nellie, my youngest sibling, just started watching like a week ago, and she has already binged through 75-80% of the show. And
that's not healthy.
It's not, but she's literally half of her siblings moved out in the past couple of weeks, so this is how she's handling it. So we watched. It was actually really sweet. So she watched a lot of it. She's like, "Oh, you would love this show." So we started watching Avatar, and dude, it is one of the best shows I've seen, like animated. Like it's fantastic. It's really, really good. The writing, I mean, it's obviously made for a younger audience, but it's like so accessible and so good. It was reminding me of like a Pixar thing of just the art level and the characters and like the nuance. Would recommend for anybody who hasn't seen it. I was talking to some friends who had watched it before when they were younger, and I was telling them that it's like, it literally is like a puzzle piece for me. It's like a lapse, or it's like a gap in my like entertainment education almost. It's like, oh, now I know, like now I can relate to people on a whole different level. You know what I mean? It's it's weird to say.
Yeah.
But it really feels that way. It's just wild. I absolutely love it. Would recommend. It's on Netflix. There's 3 seasons, and then I think they might have a movie on there too. But yeah, it's really, really good.
All right.
So yeah, I'm gonna be continuing to watch that with my sister. I was just I'm trying to find ways to be like, all right, well, we can do this together. Like, I know you'll miss me, but I'll come over, or you can come over to my place, and we can watch some Avatar, and like, just like throw a bone, try to like plan things ahead,
Right.
try to make it an easier transition. So,
Exactly.
and obviously, and still obviously hang out, not just to make her feel better. But anyways, yeah, dude. I feel.
Yeah, man.
Are you tired? Are you sleepy?
More so recently, just because I've been busy with so much stuff. I think that's the one good thing about all this is like I'll be able to fall asleep a lot quicker because I'll be so busy and so worked up and so tired.
Oh, true. True.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's just so weird. I don't know. It's a weird time to be alive. That's all I gotta say. Personally,
It really is, dude.
So much shit going on.
Part of me, and this might be odd. Part of me doesn't even want to talk about Harry Potter this week. I think we should do it on the next episode.
Okay, want to review episodes 3 and 4.
Let's keep doing just like individual episodes because it's gonna be a bit before I can watch the fourth one.
Okay.
But yeah,
we can do that.
Let's
can
just
totally
do that. Yeah, I feel like. Yeah,
I'll give me time to binge the first 3. Then I can watch one per episode this weekend.
Nice.
Labor Day weekend, I'll have time, so it'll be good.
Preview of my feelings about it. It's my favorite Harry Potter yet.
Ooh,
Definitely my favorite.
Okay.
So I'm excited to talk about it. But
what should we leave the people with? Thoughts?
Well,
I don't know if I have any advice.
I would go.
Offered as far as advice,
I don't know if it's advice, but what you were saying, we could do a bit of advice. I would just say that what you were saying about focusing on just like you got to be present. You got to like work through this time essentially, and just like lock in, focus, grind.
Lock the fuck in.
Lock in.
Lock the fuck in.
I have been really pushing myself because I'm very goal oriented, and it can get overwhelming. I should be like, oh my gosh, I can see the potential of my whole future in front of me. And then it's just like, it stresses me out, It can get to be way too much. And then it sometimes can be like, is this just a coping mechanism because I'm not happy with how things are right now? Or am I, trying to feel better about something in my past? So I've been trying to do is just really focus on just like focus on making the day good. And if I need to, the week, if I need to stretch things out, but really just like, I'm trying to make just today be like what I want my life to be like. So
that's
part of it's just time allocation and like being really, really, I'm just really trying to be disciplined about like being intentional about like keeping up with relationships with family, friends, and it's just like, I mean, I don't, you're more social than I am, but I wonder if you can relate to this. Like when you're the oldest, you kind of can't help but be like a bit of the celebrity of the family just because everyone like looks up to you. Like you're the oldest,
Oh, Ken, I can't even tell you how much I feel that. Dude, you hit on the head.
Yeah.
All eyes are on you the whole time.
Yeah. And it's a really nice feeling. But it's
times.
but it's a lot of pressure. And part of it is like, am I holding on to this pressure because it makes me feel good? Is it a pressure that I still have to hold on to? It's all those things you need to keep checking in with yourself about, or at least I do. But I would say just like for me, like one of the problems I've had in the past is that I'm just not great at like maintaining relationships outside of like family and close friends, because like I'm used to being surrounded by very social friends such as yourself and a family where I'm the firstborn, where everyone like, not that I'm the favorite or anything, but just like I'm like popular and everyone loves each other equally and everything, but it's just like everyone's like looking up to you. So
yeah, definitely.
But for a long time I've said like, oh well, yeah, that's the reason why I'm not good at it. But I was actually talking with David the other night. I'm like, that's not my excuse anymore. I'm like, it's my responsibility to make the life I want. Like, If I want, like, I'm on my own now. I'm in a studio. If I want to have a
Yeah,
relationship with my
that's right.
family, I don't need to be sleeping at their house. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
15 minutes away from all of my siblings except for Jack, who's in Duluth for aircraft mechanic school. But I can still FaceTime, I can still message, I can send him like awful memes and things that would get us canceled. Like, I can do that.
absolutely.
I can just text more, I can call friends more and just reach out. And I'm really trying to be very intentional about that, because if I don't, well, that's what my life is, you know? Like, that's, and I don't want
Yeah,
that to be the case. Like, I'm surrounded by like really good relationships. Like, I've been blessed to be able to say that for like my entire life. And so now it's like, all right, now you have to nurture it. Now it's not just like around you. Now you have to like make sure that happens. You have to water the plant, if you will. So that's what I'm gonna do. But so all that to say,
yeah,
like,
man.
for people who have to lock in right now, just like focus on the day and ask yourself, like, if I had another day like this tomorrow, like, would that be like what I want it to be? Like, and if not, like, what do you want to change? So that's what I'm focusing on. Not that this is like a advice podcast by any stretch of the imagination, but that's where I'm at right now. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, man. I think for me, one thing that I found, this happened to me like 2 weeks ago. I went through a stretch where I didn't work out for like 4 or 5 days. And like, for me personally, if I take like a weekend off from lifting, or even like 3 days off, like I feel fine. I feel normal stuff. But like day 4, I like feel like just off mentally.
Yeah.
Day 5, it's like I little bit down in the dumps. 6 and 7, not doing so good. Not
No.
doing so good. More than a week, whoa, things emotionally, mentally are not. Things are not
Yeah.
stable at all.
Right.
So I went through about 5, maybe 6 days last week where I didn't work out,
Mm.
and mentally, emotionally, like it was showing, like big time. And then I got in the gym, and I was having a lot of anxiety too about the future and stuff I was trying to do and stuff. Lots of anxiety.
Yeah.
Got that first lift in. After the first few sets, everything went away.
That's amazing.
Everything went away. And
That's
it was
beautiful.
like, I always knew, I've known about myself for like years now, but it's like, I sometimes forget it.
Mm.
But it's like, I know for me to stay mentally in check, and physically in check too, but more so mentally and emotionally in check, I gotta get my workout in. I have
Yeah.
to. I have
Yeah.
to. If I don't work out at least 4 times a week, if not 5 or 6, if I
Mm-hmm.
don't do that, things are gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
So even though for me it does require a portion of my day, like about an hour to an hour and a half, it's important because it makes everything else go well.
Right.
That 1 hour makes the other 23 very efficient and very productive and very, very good.
Sure.
So I guess I don't have a ton of advice, but I guess I would say to the listeners, um, find what that is for you. Maybe it's working out like me. Maybe it's just taking an hour of reading a day. Maybe it's maybe like cooking like Ken. Maybe like just making your own meals. Just take time to come home from work and actually make your dinner. Actually
Mm.
prepare everything like you would. Find out what that is for you. Whether it's a half hour of your day that like puts your anxiety at ease, puts your mental game at ease. Do that consistently every day. Don't make it like a thing where you're binging Netflix, obviously, or you're out drinking with friends till the evening, because that's not productive. Do something a half hour to hour a day that is going to stimulate you mentally in a good way. To keep it consistent, because if you do that, it'll keep everything else consistent.
Love that.
Um,
I couldn't agree
Also,
more.
I would say, obviously, Corona economy sucks. People are struggling. I mean, me and Ken have had our own struggles the last few months. Um, and if I'm gonna be totally blunt, there isn't gonna be an end to this for a little while.
It's true.
At best, this is gonna end in 2021. At best.
We're lucky.
So I mean, like I think what Ken was saying before, he nailed it in the head is we got to lock in.
Yeah.
We got a lot to fuck in right now. There'll be time to celebrate and enjoy the good old days and stuff like that. But for right now, I think for me especially, the rest of 2020, it's got to lock in and go attack the day every day.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about attacking the year, the month, the week. Just worry about attacking the day. Attack today.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
This is a different kind of podcast today. We got like more real than we usually get.
We did.
We got very real today.
It was good.
Yeah. So guys, we appreciate you listening. We appreciate you hearing us. We weren't whining, but just hearing us talk about our lives and express what's going on, both in the world and in our own lives.
Yeah.
And we hope that you guys will take something from this. I don't know what you're going to take away necessarily, but hope this conversation will be positive to you in some way. So with that being said, we appreciate you listening. Follow us on Instagram at podcast The Cook and the Coach. You can find us on Twitter at The Cook and the C1. YouTube.com The Cook and the Coach is our official page. Like, comment, subscribe on all channels, all platforms. You can also find us on Spotify, Castbox, Google Music, and then SoundCloud as well.
Yeah.
You can find me on my personal page at Baeza, BAEZATENSAIE. That's my Instagram. Ken, I'll give them your music and your marketing and stuff, all that.
Yeah. So for my music, if you look up Kenny Martin Bucket List, anywhere that you find music, you should be able to find it. It's an EP, singer-songwriter stuff. If you want to check out my food page on Instagram, it's at Haymarket Catering. And then my personal page is at KPMartin2 on Instagram. So check it out.
Guys, before we leave, while we are locking in everything, I think we're gonna try to find our own ways to lock in to the podcast as well.
Oh yeah.
I know every once in a while we'll miss a week here or there, and we probably will again in the future.
Yeah.
But I think both of us do want to try to take this podcast to the next level, especially as we turn the corner in 2021. We're gonna try to figure out ways that we can improve and ways we can make each other better. So
yeah, so if you have any ideas, like if people who are listening have ideas about things that they like or that they would like to see us change about the podcast, like let us know. We're open to suggestions. Like absolutely, just let us know.
Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate you. We will see you next time.
Peace.